Welcome once again, my friends, and thank you for stopping by to listen to an old storyteller. Today we have a Japanese tale, and the title of this story is The History of Sakata, Kintoki. A long time ago, there was an officer of the Emperor's bodyguard called Sakata Kurando, a young man who, although he excelled in valor and in the arts of war, was of a gentle and loving disposition. This young officer was deeply enamored of a fair young lady called Yagiri, who lived in Gojozaka at Kyoto. Now, it came to pass that, having incurred the jealousy of certain other persons, Kurando fell into disgrace with the court and became a ronin. So he was no longer able to keep up any communications with his love Yagiri. Indeed, he became so poor that it was a hard matter for him to live. So he left the place and fled, no one knew whither. As for Yagiri, love-sick and lorn, and pining for her lost darling, she escaped from the house where she lived, and wandered hither and thither through the country, seeking everywhere for Kurando. Now, Kurando, when he left the palace, turned tobacco merchant, and, as he was traveling about hawking his goods, it chanced that he fell in with Yagiri. So, having communicated to her his last wishes, he took leave of her and put an end to his life. Poor Yagiri, having buried her lover, went to the Ashigara mountain, a distant and lonely spot, where she gave birth to a little boy, who, as soon as he was born, was of such wonderful strength that he walked about and ran playing all over the mountain. A woodcutter, who chanced to see the marvel, was greatly frightened at first, and thought the thing altogether uncanny. But after a while he got used to the child, and became quite fond of him, and called him Little Wonder, and gave his mother the nickname of the Old Woman of the Mountain. One day, as Little Wonder was playing about, he saw that on the top of a high cedar tree there was a tengu's nest. So he began shaking the tree with all his might, until at last the tengu's nest came tumbling down. As luck would have it, the famous hero, Minamoto Yorimitsu, with his retainers, Watanabe no Suna, Usui Sadamitsu, and several others, had come to the mountain to hunt, and seeing the feat which Little Wonder had performed, came to the conclusion that he could be no ordinary child. Minamoto no Yorimitsu ordered Watanabe no Tsuna to find out the child's name and parentage. The old woman of the mountain, on being asked about him, answered that she was the wife of Kurando, and that Little Wonder was the child of their marriage. And she proceeded to relate all of the adventures which had befallen her. When Yorimitsu heard her story, he said, "Certainly, this child does not belie his lineage. Give the brat to me, and I will make him my retainer." The old woman of the mountain gladly consented, and gave Little Wonder to Yorimitsu, but she herself remained in her mountain home. So Little Wonder went off with the hero Yorimitsu, who named him Sakata Kintoki, and in after times he became famous and illustrious as a warrior, and his deeds are recited to this day. He is a favorite hero of little children, who carry his portrait in their bosom and wish that they could emulate his bravery and strength.
Thank you once again for listening to this story. If you enjoyed this story, please press that like button. Also, please help an old storyteller out by subscribing to my channel. The next story will be posted in a few days, so until then, may your story continue to be a good one.